This is Vegas Revealed's special coverage of the Oakland A's possible relocation to Las Vegas.
I'm Dana Roselli, along with Sean McAllister. Listen, there are some new twists to the tale of the Major League Baseball relocation. And even if you aren't interested in sports, the latest developments would mean the demolition of that classic Tropicana Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, a lot of eyes on this story, and there are a lot of layers to it as well. So we're turning to longtime Las Vegas-based journalist Howard Stutz, who is senior reporter on gaming and tourism with the Nevada Independent.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Pretty good. Just waiting for the next story to drop here on this.
You've been staying really, really busy. We love it. Listen, we love the stories you've been doing for the Nevada Independent, and we want to jump right in and talk about the A's. I feel like a lot of people have questions about this when it comes to, like, is this a done deal? Does it mean the other land deal is not being considered anymore? Is it now the site of the Tropicana only? What can you fill us in about?
Well, the sources that we have said, this is now the deal, talking about that they're dealing with is the Tropicana site. That doesn't mean anything else is off the table. The way this, as fluid as this has been. Remember, this team has spent 2 years looking at 20 different sites around the valley, kind of centered on a few down in the resort corridor. That's where they wanted to be. The team decided, and really liked the Wild West site, over where it's located. But and our understanding is it was the public financing package was tough to come by. I mean, it was they were looking for $500 million, so they reduced it by going over to the Tropicana. There's two things. One, in partnering with Bally's Corporation, you have a casino partner there. Two, the site is actually owned. The Tropicana site is actually owned by Gaming and Leisure Properties, a real estate investment trust. So they will continue to own the site. Bally's pays GLPI, as they're known, about $10.5 million annually in rent. So for the 34 acres. So that will just continue. So what that does is it takes a big chunk of money out of the deal, so the A's don't have to buy the land for the stadium. So in senses, they won't own the land. That will be owned by GLPI, but they'll build a stadium on that site. So that kind of they believe it reduced the public tax commitment to about by $105 million instead of $395 million. That's what we're waiting on is really the language to come through whatever legislation that has to be approved in Carson City, and that's what we're waiting on right now.
And I know under the previous binding land deal over at the Wild West site, the A's were talking about kind of building out an entire entertainment complex that would supplement what was being built for the stadium, and that's kind of been scrapped from the deal with the Tropicana location, right?
Right, that's correct. It's only 9 acres now. They're getting on the Tropicana site. That's big enough for the baseball stadium. Now the plan is that Bally's, they're going to close and demolish the Tropicana, and that sounds kind of shocking to people, obviously. But Bally's bought the Tropicana last year, and they had talked about renovating and remodeling and doing something with it. But then tearing it down is not a surprise. That's probably the easiest thing for them to do, to demolish it and start over. And Bally's right now, it's a company. They're headquartered out of Rhode Island. They have 14 casinos in 10 different states. They own what's now called Bally's Lake Tahoe. It used to be the Mount Blue up in Lake Tahoe. They're focused on they're building a $1.7 billion casino resort in downtown Chicago. That is like the focus for the company. So what this does, it allows them to not worry so much about the Tropicana. They get a baseball stadium on the site, and then in a few years, whenever, they'll be able to go ahead and build a new hotel casino. It won't be attached to the baseball stadium, but it'll be part of the site where, to replace the Tropicana. So that's kind of one of the factors that weighed into this deal. And yes, we won't see the urban village, but they may see something down the road. There may be some stuff added on later once Bally's figure out what they're going to do with that site.
Right. So, yeah, because that's a huge site.
Yeah, 34 acres is a good chunk of land. There's a lot of land that's not being used there right now. I mean, Trop is sitting on the site. But there's a lot of land in the back, behind off Las Vegas Boulevard. That's not being used right now. So we'll, we have we'll see where this all plays out.
Any time frame, like how long will this go on until it's like it's final? We have a decision. We're going to start construction. It could go on for a year, months.
Well, Dana, here's the thing. You hit a good point. The legislature ends, I think, on June 6th. I mean, it's coming up. Mm-hmm. So they have to have something done in the legislature before then. I don't think the legislature or the governor would have to call a special session. I don't think Governor Lombardo in his first term, 6-7 months in, is going to want to call a special session. They also are on a time constraint with Major League Baseball. The A's are that Major League Baseball needs to approve the relocation by the first of the year, of January 1st, 2024. So they're basically looking at this year to get everything in place, get the deal in place, and then they can move forward on what they're going to do in 2024. They'll they can start construction if this is what happens. They'll go ahead and start construction, but then, where do they play next year? Maybe probably Oakland again. Maybe they come to Vegas. We don't know yet. So there's a lot to be worked out. But if you're looking at timelines, adopt deadline. I mean, one, the legislature ends on June 6th, so this has got to be done before then, and then January 1st of next year to finally have everything all in place.
Yeah, so the clock really is ticking. Hopefully we'll know some definitive answers about things relatively soon here, because everything up until now has just been possible.
Right. Our understanding is that the bill will come pretty quick here. I mean, they're working on it. I mean, it's the language in this. That's it. And I don't cover the legislature. I've got a team of 3 reporters that I work with. They're doing that, but I'm working with them on this. And it's a language of this tax district. The county's got to be, they've got to work with the county to make sure the county's okay with this. There's a lot of moving parts in a short amount of time, and that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Howard, thanks so much for your time and reporting. We know that you're going to have a lot more to come.
Yeah, and if you want to check out the Nevada Independent, you can go to their website. It is thenevadaindependent.com. Now, we expect more development soon. We're going to follow all the details here on Vegas Revealed and on our social media, which you can find at vegas-revealed.com. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll have a new episode out on Saturday.